thing we saw was the cat's
Snowden.
butt. Last thing we
Snowden,
saw
get
was
outta
the cat's
here.
butt coming our way.
Yes.
We were like, "This is happening." Last thing we saw was the
They're
cat's
like,
butt.
what are you
Last thing
doing,
we saw
Dad?
was
What's
the cat's
going on
butt
over
coming
here?
our
We never
way.
see this close to the freaking
We were
couch.
like, "This is
What the hell?
All right, I got the audio.
All right.
Or at least that we remember.
I got 21 seconds.
Look at fucking Autumn right now.
What up, cat?
That's how interested he's. What do you got on that screen, Dad? Fat ass can go. Oh God, you almost fell off. Come here.
All right, I'm about to hit the button. All right. And here we are again on another wonderful Wednesday evening. This is the Angry Dandelion Show. I am Thumping Loud as always, joined by Sewn Together. And welcome back from vacation, Super Cammy Guru. Well,
hey guys.
Welcome back from family and then family vacation.
I was about to say, like, it was fun though. It was fun.
Well, I mean, nobody ever knocks a trip. So
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we had a lot of fun at Harry Potter World.
Oh yeah.
First time I went, and first time for my cousin and everything else. Second time for Luna and Megan.
Yeah, Harry Potter World. So reviews.
Fun. It's pretty interesting the way they have things set up.
Meow.
This is going to be the episode that makes it big for us. Leave the cat on the camera. People love cats.
All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Guru, you just put the cat in front of your face and pretend the cat's doing the show.
Well, I mean, it's pretty interesting because you can get an interactive wand. I mean, they're not.
Well, yeah. Well, of course not.
No, but you can get a little interactive wand that will
guide you through the park as you're going.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
And it acts as a tour guide.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my computer now because they kind of had a couple of buttons, and I don't know how they did this. What
things happened, and I don't get it.
How did you guys do this?
It's a very unique skill set that they have.
What did you guys do?
They said we catted on your toy here. We catted.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brought that back down. Okay, everything's okay. It was back to normal.
They were like, yeah, those specific keystrokes, we've modded them. So now when you do things, they look like you did it, and then it goes away. Your cat just hacked you.
Cat hacks.
You bring cat hack.
Oh, that's what they did. Somehow they changed the zoom on the screen to 200 just now. So, like, everything was in my literal face. And I, like, up close and personal. And somehow
I don't know. I didn't see none of that, literally.
Okay, there we go. That's done. That's done. And
all right, so interactive wand.
So the kids had a lot of fun with the interactive one. I wasn't able to play around with it as I would like. I tried to, but yeah, I was like, oh, that looks so cool. I want to play with it too.
Kid was like, fuck off, leave me alone, Dad. Not your toy.
The way they get the wand is pretty neat too, because it's like, just like from the show, you go into this, they have the store and everything else. You go in there. And it's really neat because they'll do like ambient lighting and stuff like that, and like they'll make it seem like the wand's picking the kid and whatnot. It's pretty neat. We had a lot of fun there.
He sounds a little salty, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He sounds like he didn't get his wand, and he's a little salty.
I was like, man, I really want one. And I looked at her. I was like, I really want one right now. She was like, we can't afford it. I was like, I want one.
then he's going up to all the people. He's like, hey, man, whose dick I got to suck to get one of these wands?
That's right.
I'll do it right here. Freaking, we're already in an alley. It's Delagon Alley already.
Right before he blows, say, "Ooh, what a lovely tea party."
And it's pretty neat too to find the place because they kind of have it hidden off. Like you can tell that it's there, but you got to find your way in, like the actual entrance to Delagon Alley, just like in the movie. Like it was a whole lot of fun.
It's blended in.
Yeah, it was a whole lot of fun for everybody.
Fortunately, it's Disney, Universal, and all you got to do is see the line of people that are trying to squeeze through this crack in the wall, and that's where you go.
Yeah, pretty much. Like we're like, where is it? I was like, I mean, people look like they're Harry Potter fans too. Yeah. They're going this way.
They just okay, we're gonna go wherever they just disappeared at. That's probably where we should be.
Yeah, that's where we're heading.
Over there.
I wanted to go to the Star Wars stuff too.
It said we were playing Fortnite. When have any of us ever streamed Fortnite to the Angry Dandelion?
Not through this channel.
Yeah, it said it had us as playing Fortnite. I never selected a game or anything.
Nope, it says it. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I removed it.
I would say that have we ever played Fortnite, but there was that one day.
Yeah,
well,
we all
I know that I know all of us have at one point at least played the game once.
Yep, I played the original mode a good bit.
We ever played Fortnite
before the VR mode came out.
Yeah, well, I know that I know all
time with Vex because he was really wanting us to play Fortnite with him, and after that, I was like, "Yeah, I was right. This is not my game. This is not my cup of tea. I don't like it. No. I'm done. Back off."
Fuck off. Yeah, Fortnite's never been my thing. That's for sure.
No, but they definitely have been busy.
Yeah, they've been busy getting some ad revenue on all the streaming platforms.
Busy. Yeah, well, it was funny. They went on vacation, but their platform has been very active.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, all right, and holiday break for all the Fortnite developers, all the teams, everybody went. They all went on vacation together. Probably went and hung out on an island, like the entire corporation, for a team building exercise for a couple of days.
Probably.
It was like, okay, we're back. I mean, Ninja took the time off to go see Detroit lose to Green Bay.
Yeah.
But at least he got to go stand on Lambeau Field where his team was Aaron Rodgers. Even Detroit's won the last 4 meetings of their matchups. Aaron Rodgers has Matt Stafford like 9-4 on their meetings. So. And now it's like 10-4. Stafford.
Nice.
But yeah, Fortnite went black on everybody.
I mean, we sat and watched it.
We saw the darkness happen.
Yep.
Yeah, we watched your brother and we watched Tim Tatman. We watched them both just stare at a screen. I still think the best comment that I've heard out of every comment that was ever made was what your brother said his son did. Was right after it was over, there was a black hole. He goes, "Is that it? I'm glad I played Minecraft." No joke. I was like, that's hands down, that's my favorite comment of the event.
Yep. I'm glad I played something else. This is stupid.
Yeah. And this is his kid. We were like, hell yeah, that's right. What's up? But then they came back with their new map and this new method of play mode that they have. I think it's clever with the fishing.
Yeah, fish for guns.
Yeah. Yeah, you can open a chest and get a fishing rod. And you get a boat. The boats are fun because they go on land too, but not like but not like a hovercraft.
Oh.
No, they're not. No, they're boats. But they got a potential to be able to. If you find one on land, you can get it back into water pretty easy. You don't have a lot of control and directions all on land, but you can still push it forward.
Yeah.
And so it's been fairly entertaining. It's fun to watch for a little bit and just see what kind of goofiness goes on with how they develop the game and what new shit they're adding, and to see what the players are doing, because a lot of the players either they love it or they hate it, and none of them are afraid to voice their opinions on it. And so you're looking to see all the big players when they come back. What do they think of the new shit? It's like, all right, well, here we go.
Let's watch them get more money.
Oh yeah, all about it. I think the platform that they gain it on is well worthwhile. I think it's still that slap in the face to every parent who ever was like, quit playing video games. You're never going to make anything out of yourself if all you do is play video games. Well.
You said that, right?
Yeah, well.
Gotta grab another beer.
It seems that you might have miscalculated that by a little bit, and you meant to tell me that you should continue to play video games and get really good at them and be clever, because you can make millions. I mean, Ninja did take those days that the game was down and spent his time taking a private jet from where he lives, picking all his family up, going to Green Bay, going to the game, having field access, chilling in a box inside Lambeau. So
yeah.
And particularly this video game, Fortnite, got him that. Well, that and his genius business move by switching over to Mixer and taking that paycheck. They're like, you're gonna pay me what to come over there? Got you.
Cha-ching!
Even though nobody still knows what the real details of that contract are, even remotely. Nobody knows how long. Nobody knows how much. Like, the people who may know aren't talking about it.
No. They're not going to.
Oh, no. No, completely. You know. I guess if Ninja ever did something so bad that he made Tim really, really mad, that maybe Tim would. But they love each other. This whole Fortnite ride for the two of them has been too much fun. There's no way. Like, that game has done not only what it did to video games, but it took streaming to a whole different elevation with it when it did it.
Yeah.
You know, think about a kid that really wasn't streaming much, but was really good, Booga, that just won all that money, and now he just sits back and streams. Like, he's got the luxury of all that cash to just be able to sit back and stream and just stay good at the game. That's it. That's all he's got to worry about doing, because he's pretty set.
Man, I did all those. One thing I noticed about that Fortnite stream we were watching, all those motherfuckers, man, have professional editors and agents and all kinds of shit. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, man.
I didn't realize it went that far with all of them. I mean, I knew Ninja was like that, and I'm sure Doc is like that, but I didn't know all the cats.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you right now, all the way down to Towley, who's a WoW streamer. Like, all of them heavily invested in agents. That's why you saw groups like Nerd Fusion, Waffle 7, Dan, all them, like the Nerd Fusion guys.
Yeah.
That's why you saw them create their own agency. Because they were like, this is clearly a direction that we might want to get involved in before everybody starts to lawyer up We need to get them invested in. We need to put together an agency that will represent them the way they want to be represented. And then you look at what Broman and them are doing down in Tampa now with what is theirs, Riot Studios or whatever the hell that is. That they are now. You know, they're diving into the same market, building a facility to do their multi-streams out of and everything like that, along with the company, you know, the coffee company that they're doing everything else. Yeah, it's crazy.
When do we get a reality TV show that just puts cameras in a house with a bunch of streamers?
It's already happened. It's called Streamer House, and to this day, now you actually have to subscribe to Streamer House in order to get access to house cams. But there is a channel that is house cams, and you get to see them fucking cook their food. There is no cameras in any of the bedrooms, but there is so much social space. Like, there's the streaming room, there's the TV room, there's the fucking kitchen, there's outside the house. Like, everything's on camera for you to be able to check it out. When they go to cons, they do IRL streams from inside the van that takes them to the airplane and all that shit. Like, yeah, and they've been around for a while.
I want one in my bedroom.
Streamer House has been around for a while. No lewd acts are allowed to, even by chance, unless you got a good booby streamer. No lewd activity at all on camera, or you will damn sure be blocked.
You got to get on the Skinamax of streaming platforms. We need one of those.
Caffeine.
Let me just hit up Skeeter. He knows all.
Leave Skeeter alone. I yelled at him today.
What'd you yell at Skeeter for, man?
I yelled at Skeeter about the paying internet women.
Oh, man, yeah. Stop that shit.
He said he really didn't. Yeah, I mean,
he was just drunk and thinking about it is what it is then.
There was a whole lot of thinking about it.
All right. I'm sure everybody's been drunk and tempted a time or two to go down that rabbit hole, but I was like, man, you could have straightened this situation out as if you just wouldn't have done this. And he goes, man, when it comes down to it, I really didn't. I'm like, okay. Yeah. All right, I'll stop running his name through the mud, I suppose. So. Sorry, Skeeter.
Yeah. We're actually connected on Facebook. I got a picture of Skeeter.
Oh, I am?
Yeah. Not exactly what I thought Skeeter was going to look like.
No one ever is.
He also does look like a Skeeter.
Does he look like a Skeeter? All right.
He does look like a Skeeter. It's just not the Skeeter I had imagined. Hearing the voice and then seeing the guy, I was like, that is not the Skeeter I thought I was going to see. But you were definitely a Skeeter.
He was definitely a motherfucking Skeeter. Oh, shit. So, speaking of Skeeter, we've been busy in the Atlas Guru.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need your $30 so you can crossplay with us. We got a nice base all set up.
He said Destiny. He said Destiny's getting his money before Atlas does.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I would probably do the same.
I'm actually pretty impressed and happy with actually playing this game. As much I rate hell I gave this game when it first came out and continued to do its thing. Like, you both know, y'all were like, I'm playing Destiny, and I'm like, fuck that game.
Well, I mean, we understand that it went through its little bout.
But this update, man, this update, them coming out with free.
No, it wasn't just this update.
Them coming out with it for being, free.
It was back when I said the updates. I was like, this is the one that's changing the way this game's going. When I said that was the update.
Yeah. It got a lot better. Early in its lifespan.
You were just coming to the new DLC time period with the reintroduction of Destiny 1 shit. So you get to harken back to an ancient time period. And that's what's got your juices. is you're like, oh, I get to reminisce over content of future past.
Well, and I mean it's good, man. It really is. It's good.
It
But
is.
we've sunk a lot of time this last week into Atlas.
Well, because we got the new update over there. That was the big thing for us. The wipe happened. The one thing we've been saying that would be what brought us back to the game.
Yep.
We needed a wipe, and Skeeter was like, man, I hope they don't ever do it again. And I'm like, they said they're not going to. I was like, but to be honest with you, I want to wipe every couple of months. I want to wipe every couple of months because there's something about that building, finding a spot, and fucking creating inside the fucking your new realm of fucking doing it, and then going out and being able to go, all right, I have no problem owning this. Success.
Yeah, dude. The build up and getting established, there is a nice little like kind of rush to it. But I will say,
Rust. That's why I play Rust, is because Rust is all about, can I survive 7 days on this server? And not only that, if I manage to get a group together and we take over this server and we survive till the end, once we run everybody off, I need a new server. So I like the fact that Rust does game-wide wipes every couple of months.
Yeah.
Mandatory wipes. We're going to change something. It's not going to really be significant, but, because we're doing it, we're going to wipe all the world when we do it. And it's like, all right, cool. Let's see. Which one of those 7 servers that we have been on in the past, however long it's been since the last wipe, which of those are we going to invade first? Hey, guys, they're wiping the servers. Y'all want to go do this? It's that kind of moment. And that's what it was with Atlas. As soon as we knew Atlas was getting a wipe and there was going to be the availability to go out and get new shit, we were like, let's go get new shit.
Yeah, I don't know though, man. I'm so... Oh, fucking dog, leave the damn cat alone. Anyways, I don't know that I want to build again now that this island...
Yeah, this island's nice, but the next island's going to be nice too.
I don't know, man. Everything's right out our back fucking door. Yeah. Everything.
Well,
dude, our whole...
We don't have crystal. We don't have crystal. We don't have salt. We don't have gems. We can't grow a lot of the vegetables that we would like to grow. We have to go elsewhere to get our bears. We can't breed them there so far.
Not really worried about breeding them, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. There's so many things about the island that it's not all there.
Everything I want is there. I don't give a shit about crystal. It's one island south. I don't give a shit about gems. It's fucking one island south. And bears, like I said, I was thinking about this today, man. Our base is built. So any kind of farming or building.
We got some more compliments today on that. Actually, somebody was saying that they would be willing to hire you to go build their shit.
That's funny.
Oh, dude, you don't even know, Guru. I've got decorations and patterns painted on our stone floors.
Yeah. Dude,
oh, nice.
He's went fucking just neurotic.
We each have our own platform house that's built up off of this main pad.
None of our shit is over land. We have built in a fucking inlet, and we're all over water. The whole base is over water.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's like what nice we did. Shallows. But I wanted to save the cobalt. We had, dude, literally, you go out our back door, walk off our platform, and the whole beach is littered with a bunch of cobalt rocks.
And each one of those drops 200 on a regular day and 500 on a 2-time weekend. Each one. And they're just peppered along the shoreline behind our house.
Speaking of 2X weekends, back to what I was thinking, I think we should do our farming and our building during the week and run maps on weekends on when it's 2X moving forward. Now that things are built, unless we're building a new ship, which imagine, fuck you, cat. I imagine Lance will want to build a brig at some point. But unless we're building ships at this point, we have no need for 2X when it comes to mats. None.
No.
We need 2X when it comes to gold, because we're going to be we're going to be those guys that go out and be like, I want a really good bear. How much you want for one? They say $10K, and I say no problem.
Yeah, and we're that kind of group though. Like today, Skeeter was, yeah, well, I put this sale here so I could run it really good, be on the wheel, do the sale, and I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you, Skeeter? Go grab money off the fucking flag. Go get your goddamn crew. What the fuck? You're part of this fucking crew. We're not a bunch of fucking hipsters around here that want to fucking.
We got probably 8K. We got probably 8K on our. First of all, there's 5 of us in total. So
yeah, we're only a 5 crew.
But we got probably 8K on the bank. On my ship right now, there's over from the maps I ran before 2X ended last night. So let's just buy everything. I want a good ship. I'm not going out and farming the mats for
a good galleon.
Yeah, mythic shit.
We're not building a battle galleon this time. We won't buy it.
No, I want to buy it.
No, what the fuck? We're gonna go and we're gonna make one of the big companies. People who got the people to farm this shit, and we'll just go and pay for it. We know how to make the money to do it.
Yeah, exactly. True. I mean, if you think about it, over the course of this weekend, between the maps we ran, we probably made 20K, and we weren't even outrunning maps hard.
No.
We
into commons, finds, maybe a couple journeymen.
Yeah, even if it's me, you, and Lance on the weekends, we grab a set of maps, plan a route, and we all split out 3 separate ways on map runs on 2X weekends. We'll be raking in cash.
Son's also got to figure out how he's going to expand on our tame center, because we did acquire the one person who's going to make us need more places to keep tames.
I'll just put a second story on it, man.
Let Fufu have her.
Yeah, it'll be the Fufu floor.
Fufu floor, so Fufu can have her furries.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
She came into the game, and literally with the first 2 hours of her being in the game, she already had her a tiger, an ostrich, and was like, "Oh, thanks for the bear, guys."
Yeah,
that was right after she got in the game. We were like, you didn't even need to get her a bear.
Hey man, I'm good with getting her the bear, because one day I want her to get me a crow.
Oh no, you already heard, she's gonna have those here soon. She's planning crows and parrots.
Sweet.
That's why she wanted the cage, so she can go get her birds.
And what we'll do is we'll start looking at really good crows and see if we can't start selling. Yeah, trading out crows
to good companies.
Yeah,
companies that'll give us good shit like ships and weaponry.
You got. I mean, eventually you're gonna want a bred crow. Is the only downside, because the way to get everything the best is to breed them. Yep. But maybe that's something Fufu can get into. I think I'm stepping out of the breeding game until I buy some really high-end bears. Then I may set up a little breeding factory someplace.
Got to make sure that the people that we get to sell us the bears understand that they cannot be neutering our bears.
I'll get them from Rusty, dude. Rusty doesn't neuter.
Oh yeah. He was
dude. Within the first 2 hours of that game being live, he was like, "Anybody want a bear?"
Yeah, I thought
people were like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Oh, I spec into taming right off the rip. I've got bears to sell." It's like, Jesus, dude.
Yeah, it's the first thing he does. He's pretty much taming them right out of port, because he knows that's all he's got to worry about.
Dude, this guy could breed you any type of bear, any color, with any stats.
Yeah. If you want a heavy carry weight bear that is solid black,
before the wipe, he had a whole mountaintop that was just covered, and with 2 layers or 2 levels, and it was nothing but bears. He's like, these are the babies I'm working on to breed this trait in. These are the babies I'm working on to breed this trait in. These ones I can sell. This one's what I have for sale here. Do you want a gray one? Do you want a black one? If you want me to get you an all white one, give me a couple days. I'm working on that next.
Yeah, no. He was a member of a company, though, that gave him the capability of doing that. He doesn't have to worry about any fucking thing. All of his taming foods are brought. Like, they take care of that. He doesn't have to worry about that part. So everything's brought to him at an endless supply. And then he just goes out and concentrates on taming, breeding, and that's the progression. That's his progression. And he loves it. And he's good at it.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah,
So,
me and Chris stepped away right now from...
Someone caught the bug and got inspired towards our game. And that's why he started, like, that's why we had a Bear Island, why he went out and started that place. He was like, nah, I know what I'm going to do. He's like, so he did. He got inspired. He was like, I could do that.
I had eight breeding rooms set up in a facility with once you had the babies, there was a nursery essentially. And then once they were grown up, and plus I kept a giraffe and an elephant for mats in a larger holding facility. I had it set up nice, man.
It was really cool. It was also one of the first things we lost once we
stopped
walked away. Yeah. When we walked away, that was one of the first things we lost.
That was the building
facility
you guys were talking about that got lost.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we lost our breeding facility because none of us went back to it. We held on to the island in the north for a while, and then it was nothing but the island, the Horde Island original.
Yep. Then the wipe, which I'm good with, because our original island wasn't that great, to be honest with you. It was okay.
No, it was good for what we were doing at that point, because there wasn't a limitation on growth.
Yeah.
And we had plenty of metal, and cocoa to take care of all of our animals. That's something I miss. I haven't.
Yeah, but we got so many berries out lying around. By the way, if you need berries, man, for anything, just go to the damn silo. Silo had like 14K berries on it yesterday morning when I looked.
If I need berries, I just go to the flag. Oh, Fluffy Bunnies.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when you come out of our cove, the cove to the left of ours?
Yeah.
Remember the group that was there?
Yeah.
It looks like Fluffy Bunny is moving in.
Interesting. They want some of that cobalt.
Well, they want to, they've got, it's the SS, like, farmer or gatherer. Or,
yep.
That is now the boat that's parked out in front of it. But it's parked next to that old dock. So I figure what we'll probably do is go over and clear all of that old company shit out of there.
We'll have to wait for 10 days. You only have so many hours after they initially place it to tear it down.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think we'll go over there. We'll clear that stuff out. We'll make... a nice place for them to be able to kind of hang out where they ain't got to worry about it. It's close to the resources that they're looking for, just like us. I mean, we're just trying to be regionally sound this time. We're not trying to dictate a lot of heavy trade shit. We'll leave where we're at to go get what we want.
Yeah.
So we just want to be social with the people who were around. I mean, I had a ship go down, lost 1,100 gold. And the very next day, we were trading them seeds.
Yep.
Because they saw the boat crash. They didn't know that I was in the area. I got taken out by a galleon of the damned.
Yeah, it buried him in a freaking cove, man.
But yeah, buried me in a cove. Not even supposed to get up to islands like that. I got some hella pictures of it, though. It was great. But I get buried up in there, and I get my bear off, and I go back to try and gather shit, and a shark and a couple of manta rays come up, and like shit went south for me. So I respawn, grab a boat back at the house, and go back to gather. I grab one with a diving dock on it. I'm like, I'm gonna go back and get all of my shit back. Well, I come around the corner, and I see that the galleon's still literally parked just at their island. I'm like, all right, well, let me run over here and see what's going on, at least get my bear, because I'd already lost my monkey. And when I go down and I look, they had broken everything and collected most of the resource shit that I had gathered out of there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, if something crashed on our island, I'd probably do the same thing. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm not worried about it. It was 1,100 gold. I walked past them. There was like 3 of them. And I'm like, they're the ones that got my shit. And it's Dirty South company. And I understood. We would have done the same thing if you wrecked on our shoreline.
Fuck yeah, would have. I'd take all that shit.
Because we're not expecting you to show up that anytime soon to reclaim any of this shit. We're expecting you to just write it off. And that's exactly what I expected that they did. That we didn't know each other at that point. When they came over wanting to trade, though, we did kind of hit them over the head for some seeds.
Yeah, we didn't do too awful bad. I mean, 10 gold a seed. It's not too awful bad. And we got some wheat seeds out of it, which is what we needed, so I didn't have to sail all the way to freaking 05.
We got the wheat seeds plus 50 gold in exchange for 15 seeds we gave them.
Yeah. And then they gave me 200 gold for the rest, 5 of each of the rest of our seeds. So
yeah, and their island's not bad. I've been back over there and done some more maps since then.
But yeah, man, I don't think I want to leave that island. I just like our layout. I like the fact that the metal's right out back. I like the fact that there's no hostile shit on there. Yeah, because that means that we can go out and
short run.
Yeah, it also means we can go out and sail around and not worry.
It's a short run right now. We're fresh into the new play. I'd like to hang out with it for a little while, but I have a feeling it's still going to do the same thing that it's going to do, just like any survival game does. And it's going to be like, well, there's no real reason to keep doing this.
Yeah, it'll be a pop on and maintain thing. Especially this time of year. It'll be a pop on and maintain thing, and then as their roadmap starts to roll out and we start to see changes in gameplay
I've got an article I've been reading that was like games to get you through the fall. Games to get you through the cold weather. Like, I'm seeing a lot of these articles that are popping up everywhere right now.
But that's when all the new games come out. So just pick
all
one.
The RPGs. There's a list of just RPGs to get you through the winter.
I don't know. I feel like, honestly, I feel like I'm more into playing RPGs and stuff like that in the summertime. In the wintertime, I want to play social games because I don't go outside anyways, but you don't really go out and hang out with people. You know,
I was like, our gaming doesn't change throughout the year anymore. Yeah. We're settled into a different market now, so to think we're seasonal gamers is completely different. The only thing is our attitude towards people changes a little bit more in the fall than it does during the summer. We're very standoffish during the summer because fuck all you kids that are out of school trying to fucking jump in on my fucking game, and I don't want a squeaker in my fucking party and all this other shit. We're old. We're all in this 35 plus area of things. And
yeah, you can really see the gray in my beard since it started to grow it out a bit.
We're done with all of the real social shit, but in the middle of the day, in the middle of the winter, that it's probably not a squeaker. And you know that when this guy comes running along with something, you're like, he's been putting in work. Yeah, probably responsible. You can tell what runs up to you. You're like, this can be good. Let's talk to this guy.
Yeah.
And that's all it is we let our guard down in the winter because we're less worried of that.
We're in hibernation mode.
Young gamer. That young gamer is not on our radar at that point because, fucker, you're in school.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing I'm actually going to enjoy about this new gig I got, man, is I'll be working evenings again. But it also means by the time I get home from work at 10, 11 o'clock at night, all the kids is in bed. When I wake up in the morning before I got to go to work, all the kids is at school. So my gaming time will not involve any of that.
Yeah, his prime gaming time is going to be wrapped completely in the peak hours of no children.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, man, because like you said, fucking squeakers, dude.
Yeah.
And look, not for nothing. I got friends of mine that have kids that I've watched their kids grow up while we're playing video games, and their kids have been great. Like you got Max, Steve's kid, you've got Webb's kids, you've got Webb's brother Goog, his kids. Like I've run around with all of these guys and all guys and gals in all different types of games, and
I've only ran with Max. Max is a good kid.
Max is solid, dude. Max is that pro gamer level where you realize your age difference when you see how fast he responds to shit, and you're like, I remember when I could do that. You know, that's
you see him run around all over the place, knocking everything out, and we're like, we'll get there here soon. Like where we are. Just
remember when I could do that. Well, I mean, just him. I wonder if he's back in Destiny. I haven't seen, I haven't been on Xbox to find out. But if he's back in Destiny, you're back in Destiny, like I guarantee he's probably already completed how many raids do you reckon? Because how far ahead of you and Iron Banner do you think he is?
Oh. Probably pretty far.
That's what I'm saying, though. When you think about just like Max is what Max has always been, like where is he? Like
I don't think I got him on here anymore. I think I got rid of Max by accident whenever I was doing some spring cleaning because I think he changed his name.
I had to find out.
If he changed his name, I probably accidentally wiped him out. Because there was a few people that you always pick up a few stragglers here and there from games that you play and everything. And, they'll hang for a bit. And then next thing you know, you both go your separate ways. And then you never talk to them again. Or, I kind of do a little bit of occasional spring cleaning. There's a few heads that they'll always stay on there. Because, one of us... may it be me or them, will hop into a party and be like, hey,
Right? Nope, he's still Max.
I must have accidentally knocked him out then, because there would have been no reason why I would have.
Yeah, he's still Max. He's actually been playing The Hunter, Call of the Wild. He's been real heavy with school, too. Like, the kid is dynamite on the drums. He's been really heavy with the band and everything else that they've been doing up there. Like he's a solid Pennsylvania kid. Mm-hmm. Doing whatever the fuck he's doing. Yeah, he's it's weird. He's a Pencil Jersey. Yeah, because his mom lives in Pennsylvania and that's where he's going to school and all of that. But his dad's in New Jersey and that's where he spends every time he gets the moments of free time, he's always back up in Jersey. So that's just kind of like the way his thing goes. Webb's kids, like him and Webb's two daughters are really good friends, especially Webb's oldest daughter. Like they're real good friends.
I tried to hit up Webb earlier today. I was going to see if he wanted to do some Iron Banana. No. I was actually kind of surprised if I caught up to him.
The great part about you shaking your head is the meme. It's like, God dang it, we invented that shit. That was us. That's old school. There are people right now who are going, what the hell are they talking about?
But no, I was actually kind of surprised that I've caught up to Webb as much as I did in the short period of time because I figured he would have been way past. I know he's had some stuff,
Well, Webb's got a lot on his plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a lot on his plate. Just the platform that we're
he's one of them guys who went through the buffet line and put everything on one plate.
Yeah, I mean,
instead of going back up
on the platform that we're on, we can definitely give a lot of credit to him of making this continue to be available for us over here at IroniqMedia.com for all those that do not know that may be checking us out over on Facebook Live or YouTube or
it's
anywhere else that you may be hearing us. Yeah, you check the descriptions. For those of you who don't read, go read. Go read shit.
Yeah, we got, those that don't read,
we got links. We got links to the stream in there, anyways. And yeah, I guess I could throw up their Facebook and stuff, and I'll edit that so we get Ironic Media's webpage in there at some point in time. But I do have the stream.
Yeah,
the
we're cross posted to all of you guys over there anyway. Those of you that are seeing us on, you got the name right there on the screen too. The Angry Dandelion on IroniqRadio.com, Ironic Media. Yeah. Go ahead and hit them up on the platforms, man. Show everybody the love. Give everybody the follows.
Yeah, but I figured whenever I saw that I was right at par with him basically at this point, I was like, man, I figured I'd be still working to catch up to this mofo because you and me both know.
I'm saying is when I told you where I was at and then you told me where you were at, I was like, and this is what happens when I take 7 days away from Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really, the only thing I've done is maybe get on and run a couple strikes in the week since Atlas has had an update.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, now we're at a point where we can start balancing that out a little bit. We've got our base.
Because where are you at right now, son?
620, but I can get higher.
No, not 920. He just got
920.
920. Okay. He just got his first solid build that he likes at 920.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I can get a little bit higher. I just don't feel like infusing one power level higher items in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll wait for a larger jump on things. So I could probably get 922, 923.
What's a bad game there, Brad?
Oh, he said that a while ago. I've been sitting here trying to fucking figure that out, and I haven't called him out on it either.
Well, I'm gonna fucking call you out on it, Brad. I know you're still fucking there.
He might be. He might have dipped off already.
Listen here, Dingleberry.
There's still 3 people on the YouTube, and it's been that way for a while. So if you're there, Brad,
I got. Our numbers keep going up over here on the Facebook.
Yeah, I noticed that.
A while ago, it was way lower.
Yeah, we got that retro push.
It's
even with the retro push, that numbers went up.
Yeah, I agree with Guru. It's the cat.
Yeah,
I'll go get my cat back from outside. We'll just sit and pet kitties all night.
Hey, can I give Guru a little bit of a compliment aside from the fact that I just saw a very hairy kneecap?
Go for it.
I like the shirt, buddy.
Yeah, I do like the shirt.
I do. I really like the shirt. The 4-way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good shirt.
I thought I showed this to you before.
I may have had chemicals preventing me from recognizing that.
Yeah, I'm about to have to get up and get more beers. I grabbed 2 thinking that would hold me off for a while, but it is not. I tell you, man. I tell you.
I've heard a really interesting I guess theory roaming around that I don't know how many y'all know who Bert Kreischer is.
Yeah, of course we know who. We better know who Bert Kreischer is.
Do you know who
Bert Kreischer is?
Do you know who?
Saw it in your face.
Do you know who Ari?
I had to think about it.
Do you know who Ari Shaffir is?
Name's familiar.
All right. Well, so Joe Rogan, Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, and Ari Shaffir do a thing called Sober October.
Yeah, right? That's what I thought too.
Okay. But initially it was put forward to help Bert because they were like, Bert, you you need to do something, buddy. Like, we're worried about you. And if this is what we got to do to help you out, at least for 1 month out of the year, this is what we're going to do. The four of us are going to sit down in this pact, and we're going to fucking make this pact that none of us will do anything like this during October. And then this is the third year running, they put tasks out there. So this year, their tasks are to do 10 things that you've never done before.
All right.
So that's that. And everybody's also got to not take in drugs, alcohol, caffeine's allowed, but everything else is off limits.
I was about to say, you tell me I can't have my coffee, I'm out.
Well, I was going to say, Joe and Ari tested the very first day on whether or not like caffeine and or nicotine were part of this equation. And they smoked a cigar while they were doing a podcast. Well, during that podcast on like October 1st or 2nd, they referred back to him recording, Ari Shaffir recording a podcast with Bert Kreischer on his show. And so they're talking about this podcast, and he's like, yeah, I was mad at him about all this bullshit about Sober October. He's like, this is some shit that just, I don't have a problem.
As soon as you say I don't have a problem, buddy, you got a problem.
Well, hold on.
You got a problem.
Hold on. Now, Ari went over to do this podcast, and he dosed Bert with Molly.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
At his house.
Oh, God.
Like, at Bert's house, and Bert was about to go out on his Australian tour the next day.
Oh, God.
This was do the podcast with Ari, hang out with the kids tonight, get my shit packed, hop on a plane tomorrow morning, and fucking go to Australia. This was what Bert had planned. Ari showed up mad because Sober October was about to happen and dosed both of them before doing the podcast.
Oh, God. I need to listen to this podcast.
Now, I haven't heard that podcast. I think this one's been withheld, but I've heard all of the response podcasts since then.
Mm-hmm.
And Bert's taking it really well. He's not mad. His wife
fucking livid, I'm sure.
Is not taking it well. And she is done with Ari.
Yeah.
And then you've got Christina Pajinski and Tom, like their thoughts on it. Like Christina was like, if he had done that to Tom would probably be in jail right now because he would have beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, did he slip it on him or did he know ahead of time?
No, he dumped it into a shot that they took before the podcast.
No, man, you don't do that shit to people.
No, man, you don't.
You don't do that. You don't do that shit to people because people won't.
That's kind of been everybody's feeling about it. Is it doesn't matter what may have transpired after that, like because he enjoyed his experience on Molly, and to look back on it all, he actually feels that he's gained something from the experience of it. But he also understands that it would have been different had he known what if he had settled into, all right, fine, I'll do it, versus all of a sudden, why do I feel the way I feel?
Right at this moment in time.
And then the dude across from you goes, oh, yeah, I put Molly in your drink.
Yeah, dude, I probably would have been that. Yeah, I would have been like, no, motherfucker. This podcast just turned into a fucking UFC bout. Call Joe Rogan back.
Yeah,
I need someone to call this fight.
Like everybody's kind of writing it off in one direction, but you got Bert sitting there in his spot going, this just happened.
But
like I said,
definitely
studies such as Bert's seem to reflect that he came out of the other end of it very refreshed, and he said that this experience has actually helped control his drinking better, because coming out of the Molly experience, it killed any urge to drink, and he hasn't really felt like
wants
drinking.
To do more Molly, man.
No, that's just it. He said just to put me on just an even kill of not really
serotonin
doing
levels.
anything.
Yeah. Probably fucked with his serotonin levels and maybe even balanced him out, because what I understand of Molly and stuff like that is
this is pure MDMA for any of you who are not educated in the world.
It boosts your serotonin through the roof.
Yeah, it's existed for quite some time. Back through like the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you knew of it as ecstasy. Well, back in the 70s, you knew of it as MDMA, MDA, and then through the 80s and 90s, it got turned into ecstasy. It was cut with everything from speed and coke and heroin and everything else. Now it's made it cycle back to Molly is pure MDA.
None of the
well,
bullshit.
more pure. Because there's still a
pure drug out there.
Well, no, actually, right now there is still a little bit of a difference between, like, generally what's going to the population that's being cut mildly with some other stuff, versus there is like a 98% or 99% out there where 1/16 the dosage is enough to make you need to take a day to enjoy it.
Man, this was a while back, but I actually, just cruising through my Flipboard, because I use Flipboard. I do. I'm one of those weirdos. And there was actually a study done on people with depression and stuff like that, and the study was based off of them taking acid.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the people experienced less depression, were better off after they had an acid trip.
Yep. There was a lot of studies done during the 60s. What was dude's name? Tune in and tune out? Like, Leary.
Dennis Leary?
No, not Dennis Leary. Was it David Leary? Something like that.
It
was a Leary from the 70s, but he did a lot.
I only know one Leary.
It was him and another scientist. It was him and another scientist that did studies on people's reactions and social actions and interactions while on LSD. Like, it was legitimately being studied by these guys, which of course now are major outcasts to the Society of Scientific Studies, because they delve into something that became an illegal substance, just like any other scientific community that was willing to put their name out there with marijuana, THC, or CBD prior to this coalition of legalization that's going on. These scientists were shown to the same way. MDMA has its way, or MDA has its thing about what's being done with it.
There's another mushrooms actually in the article.
There's another with mushrooms is another one, but there's another drug, DMT. DMT's the big one now.
DMT.
It's legal. In very
dextromethorphan or some shit like that. You talking about the shit that's in Robitussin?
No, I'm talking about the pure form extract DMT.
All right, Google. I don't know about this drug.
You need to sit with a shaman. You need to sit with like some kind of shaman.
Dimethyltryptamine, hallucinogenic tryptamine drug that occurs naturally in many plants and animals. So it's the shit that's in turkey. No, it's tryptophan in turkey.
That's tryptophan in turkey.
It's
close, man. It's close. Leave me alone, man.
Gross.
I'm gonna eat a bunch of turkey and get all fucked up.
Right? Shit.
No, eat a bunch of turkey and go to fucking sleep.
Oh, man.
That's what tryptophan does. It gives you the itis.
Man, this turkey's fucking great. Like, I feel all awesome inside right now. Like,
but no, this is the new thing that you're hearing of a lot of like pretty smart people actually in the world that are going into these DMT like experiences with shamans of various types and are coming out the other side with some very insightful shit about like the world that they've observed because of this psychogenic travel they went on.
Your spirit journey, man. Gotta go on your spirit journey.
Well, they say there's supposed to be a connection in all of that from like who you are to who you are. And this is, it matters according to the stories that are being told. But DMT is the new one that is that level of shit. Like Molly is nothing but old ecstasy. Ecstasy is nothing but original DM.
Yeah, DMT. I mean, DMT has been around for thousands of years, according to the article I'm reading.
Yeah.
We need to get another beer.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so this is what a lot of like what people that consider themselves woke or enlightened in this aspect, like this is a lot of what they're doing right now. And it's got to be a very controlled sequence. People are talking like 15 to 20 minute, but it's intense, hardcore fucking, you need a Sherpa to guide you through this shit because it's going to hit you, you going to be there, and then you're going to need to come out of it, like the guidance to come out of it.
All right.
Because that's just the way they're putting it right now. But they're saying it's healthy. They're saying that it's good for you to balance yourself psychotropically with an exposure to this type of environment. And they're saying that like the Molly does that same kind of like
ordeal.
Yeah, it is part of this same thing. You go with the mushrooms, LSD. Personally, I've always felt LSD was dirty. That if you were going to go psychotropic, that it would be better to go with like mescaline from peyote, or
because it's cleaner,
or mushrooms. Like I figured that was where it's at. But the better understanding that's coming out now is maybe it's more DMT and maybe it's more MDA as pure substances than it is any of these others.
Right.
Like these are more focused and apparently safer versions of the illegal street drug that has made its appearance here and there, at least through our society, through the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
I mean, I know before Molly,
it was ecstasy.
Yeah, I know that when it was in that phase, the people that were just hooked and kept on taking it and everything else like that, one of the major side effects to it was, because of all the garbage that was inside of it, was that it could turn your brain into Swiss cheese.
Well, it started with a neurological. It started with neurological damage. Essentially, it was a slow overdose, is what it's been defined as now. It would deplete spinal fluid, and that in turn would cause detrimental brain damage because it was unregulated and unstudied and being consensually
being cut with almost anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, anything. That's what I heard a funny one on a podcast the other day that was talking about it. And they were like, what makes ecstasy different from Molly? And they were like, meth. Because essentially that is the day and night difference between what ecstasy was through like the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And what became this MDA. Like
exactly.
pure MDA, or at least 95 plus pure MDA, which is what Molly is considered. That is not the same drug. Just like the concerns that people have had over vaping versus actual smoking versus edibles.
Mm-hmm.
Like
edibles is probably your safest way to go. If I'm just to guess off the top of my head, anyways, I would think edibles would be the healthiest way for you to consume.
Edibles are the healthiest way to consume. If you're going for the psychotropic THC side of things, condensed into just an oil tincture, as far as CBD is concerned, is the best way for it as a tincture, as an oil, to be put into food, to be put into drinks, to anything like that. And then if you're wanting to take it a step further with CBD, it's to go topical and to rub it on areas, because CBD has a great quality to regulate inflammation.
I'm going to be rubbing it into some areas.
It's CBD.
You and my brain went to the same place, man.
Yeah. As soon as he said rub it into
I'm about to be the Tony Montana of CBDs.
Oh, man.
We'll be doing CBD oil off of butt cracks.
But all that does is relax
Rub it in,
them,
baby.
All that does is relax them, so that's not necessarily what you'd want to do.
It gives a whole new meaning to rubbing one out, yeah.
It also probably puts a whole lot of more work into rubbing one out.
Probably, but I mean, isn't that what cocaine was supposed to do? Is numb all that shit up anyway? So.
Yeah, this isn't numbing it. This is relaxing it. CBD is a muscle relaxer.
Well, maybe that's better for the person on the receiving end.
Oh, and there's my cousin, number one sharer over in the group, man. Love
Banana.
it, man.
Oh, man.
He slipped the banana into the Angry Dandelion Facebook page.
Banana.
Oh,
and eggplant. That's it.
mm-hmm. Oh, dude.
But yeah, so with all of the studies that have been going on with everything, I mean, I laughed when I saw vape juice and edibles become such a mainline thing. Like when you go to the black market and your black market's going, I ain't got nothing you can smoke, but I got this oil and I got this gummy bear and I got this food and I got this, and you're like, but what if you just want to smoke weed? Like, what if that's what if you just want to do that? And I got to thinking about it. I'm like, man, there's going to be a day, apparently a lot sooner than I thought, where if you smoke, you are old.
Weirdo, yeah.
Yeah, you're the old man. You're like, you old fucking hippie. Like, who the fuck smokes anymore?
I was watching some documentary or some shit on a what do they call it? Distributor, fucking marijuana shop. And the girl in there, they had all the oils and all the gummies and all the edibles and stuff like that. She's like, I'm a flower child. She's like, I don't like the way any of the other stuff makes me feel. She's like, I'm old school. I'm a flower child. And that would probably be the way I'd have to take that.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of lately. There's been a lot of conflict on what's going into the vape oils. So we know that the edibles we probably feel a little bit safer with, because we know that dosing there is going through with the tinctures into those oils. But then the vape juice, there was a company that has legal right that has just recently come under fire because a company that they use their license with has been basically using their license to make bad shit. There's a process that will concentrate the pesticide of a plant, and that's what they end up getting out of it. is it concentrates more of the pesticide. And that's I can't remember who the company
See what
is.
happens when you stop letting your fucking uncle's uncle grow weed out in the middle of a field. You get companies manufacturing the shit, and you start getting pesticides in your weed.
Yeah, but so they're
Concentrated pesticides.
They're saying that this is part of a problem that they're having to, if you don't go to a place that's reputable and you don't go to a place that does testing on a weekly on every product that's coming in the door, if they're not regularly testing their inventory, that it's still just like any street drug at this point, and you don't know what you're getting. So
that's problematic.
Yeah, facilities making sure that they go through regular testing is something that they said would hedge off an event like from being able to happen again.
So instead of playing this half legal, half illegal game, it's really just about time they just regulate it and let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's.
Well, it's
I think that's the consensus of pretty much every American at this point, whether you partake or you do not partake. It's like, all right, enough people want to, let's regulate it and let's move on.
Right. If you want to control something, regulate it. Don't make it illegal. Yeah. That is like, you'd figure we would have learned this back during Prohibition.
Yeah, no shit.
Apparently not.
But our war on drugs, thank you, Nixon.
Yeah, well, you gotta have something to make money or generate tax revenue or military police bullshit.
Yep.
As it sound ignorant as fuck, but
well, not for anything. The weirdest part is your current president is continuing to cut military spending.
Yeah, but he ain't gonna be there very long.
Well, I mean,
just because he said he ain't gonna be there doesn't mean that that it ain't gonna happen.
Actually, I read an article today, and I can't remember the name of the prediction model, but it's been accurate. But for all but one election since 1980, and that was the last election, it actually predicts Trump to get reelected.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely happen.
If he doesn't nothing, and I think that maybe that's why
greedy. Corporations are greedy, and he has been their friend.
Yep, and honestly, that's probably why the impeachment stuff is happening right now. They wanted to wait to start the impeachment stuff till election cycle rolls in, so they can try and defame and get the sitting president not reelected. Personally,
actually, no. What suspicion on this actually seems to be what I've heard is this was all set to go into motion. He fought a bunch of it beforehand, and then all of the public light is to guarantee his reelection. They're saying that he wants to be impeached but not removed, like Clinton was impeached but not removed.
Right.
That he wants to be impeached, not removed, reelected.
Just to shove it in everybody's face.
Yeah. Yeah, they said that's what he wants out of this. That's his motive.
Well, that's all well and good. My problem is I just don't think he really speaks for the people. So
no. I've been watching a lot of military personnel broadcasts. I've been watching a lot of military personnel broadcasts, podcasts, various whatever, like former military guys just sitting around and talking, and we live a very cushy, comfortable life, and I don't think we recognize the reasons why. And we should just learn to like our comfortable, cushy, because even when it's shitty, it's still better than just about everywhere else.
Yeah, and I mean, I get that. I do. I absolutely get that. I have a problem with very select few controlling all the wealth in a nation that's supposed to be about the people.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, I'm right there with you on that one.
That's and if they earned it, great.
Well, that's why I believe that our teachers and our soldiers deserve to be the highest paid people in our country.
I agree. I can get down with that. Next generation, the people who are defending our freedom definitely should get paid tons of money. Tons.
The people who are educating them and the people who are fighting should be the moneymakers. Mm-hmm. And that's just where I stand with that.
Well, I mean, if you think about it and you want to dive into history a little bit, soldiers used to be a revered class of person. You know, I mean...
Well, in every society, they have a level of reverence.
Yep, but it doesn't seem to be that way so much here right now.
Well, yeah, but we took a turn. Vietnam did a lot of funky shit for us and didn't really... Like, our country came out of Vietnam feeling real salty because it was the first distrust, like direct distrust that we had for our government, where we did not think that they had our best interest at heart. And we've just been in this ongoing battle of them trying to prove they're not all shitty people, and us just going, I don't know, I think you're all shitty people.
Nope, and that's why we have the Constitution, and that's why we have the right to bear arms, because if the government gets too shitty, it's our job as citizens to dismantle it.
That's right. Fuck your shit. I like the way that Britain's been handling their whole situation. Like, they sit down in Parliament and they talk smack to each other.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
They straight up are like, excuse me, sir, I think your remarks are absolutely pompous and you're a fucking imbecile. And it's like,
you know what's kind of funny is, like, we rebelled against that formality that was England. That formality, that class structure, so on and so forth. That's how America was founded.
Yeah, but we rebelled during the time that they were a monarchy, and then they adapted this parliamentary service after we had already rebelled.
Right,
like
but it's kind of funny though. We have started leaning more towards treating the president as a monarch, and so on and so forth.
Well, we've had a lot of presidents to make sure that that's kind of the way that goes, but like not for nothing. When he got held as the whipping boy, because not for anything, every president that's ever had the job all agrees with the statement of anybody who wants this fucking job is a dumbass.
Better have some thick ass skin.
A dumbass.
Well, no, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You reach and work and do everything you do through your political career of doing all of the things that you've ever fucking done to achieve to get to this position. One, that you take a pay cut. Two, you're responsible for every fucking thing. You are the burden. When you get the job, you find out you're the burden of the world in a lot of cases. Like, this is the dumbest job to seek out.
You know what? Maybe I'll take that job.
I mean,
they do. And every president,
we see that anybody can do it.
Every president that's walked away since
I'm not wrong.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
Since Johnson,
anybody can do it.
But every president that's walked away since Johnson has all basically said to want this job is mentally insane.
Oh yeah.
No, well, to be a leader requires making unpopular decisions sometimes. I actually pulled that quote from the show Runaways that I binged. And it really struck home, man. I mean, I've been a leader in kitchens for 17 years now, and to be a leader, you
be able to ruffle the skin.
Yeah, like you've got to make the unpopular decisions, and that's honestly, that's been a struggle for me because I'm the type of person I always want everyone to be happy. House Gryffindor. But and that's been a struggle. That's been a struggle of mine. Is I always want everyone to be happy. I'm a people pleaser by nature, and a lot of times that's the wrong decision. Is what makes the people happy isn't the right decision for the business. For the most part, I'm a people pleaser. For the most part. In my professional life, is that big and better for you, Tom?
Ravenclaw.
Hufflepuff. I'm the one who really just lets you get away with shit, and I'm just like, all right,
I'm done.
I'm done.
Out.
I'm a fucking
This
hero.
ain't working no more. Later.
I'm a hero. I'm like, this ain't working no more. How do we fix it? And then I'm like,
like you broke it.
And then
I tried to tell you was breaking it.
Then eventually I'm like, well, I'm out. Fuck all y'all Hufflepuffs.
Shout out to Zarkon and Arnwald out there. I tried to tell you were breaking it.
Ravenclaw.
Try to tell you were breaking it.
I'm good with Zarkon. Fucking Arnwald can suck a bag of dicks.
But he loves us.
Nah.
Oh, isn't that the one that ticked you guys off the most?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
They asked to move in where we were building. I said, okay, you can have this area because the original agreement on the merger
take care of it here in a minute.
Was you would stay in your area, we would stay in our area, and then you were like, well, what if we all just move over here? And I was like, okay, have this area, and then you expanded on it and fucked up my build, man. Don't fuck with my shit. If I got something going, I usually have a vision.
Hey.
And you may not see it right away, but when I'm done.
Hey, Guru.
I didn't mean to pull that Band-Aid off again. I'm sorry. No.
Hey, Guru, guess what I did while he was building this time?
You fucked up his shit?
Nope. There was actually a point where I was like, what are your plans? And he goes, well, I don't know at the moment. I was like, all right, I'm hopping in the boat. I'll catch you later.
That's exactly what he did, too. He hopped in the boat, sailed off, and let me do my thing. And a lot of times, that's the best option, man.
That's exactly what I was like. All right, I see where you're at. I'm out.
Yep. Yeah. He said, "Can I back this boat up?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Well, he said it was going to go right there." It's like, "Well, I want to leave it right there for right now because I kind of got a vision going." Yeah, and I'm going to get to it.
I was like, "All right, later."
Yep. Then he hopped on his boat and sailed off. I was like, "All right, this is going to work out just fine."
I turned, dude. My boat, I don't know if you actually paid attention to those photos that I sent you earlier.
Not completely yet.
My boat is the Joker.
It is.
It is purple, black, and green. I found the perfect red for the front of my boat. So that when my boat comes pulling into your dock, all you see is a bunch of purple and green. It's all lit up, fucking scary coming into
port. That would make mine the Flash then. Because mine's all red and gold. Dude, we is good at lighting up some boats, man. Our lighting game is on point.
Yeah, we have figured
we got RGB boats, man.
Yeah, we have figured this shit out all day.
That's kind of like the way Zone builds is kind of the way it is with me. Like whenever I first went back to Ark and Brad was coming along with, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna live with you." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "So what? So what do we?" He was like, "So what are we building?" I was like, "What do you mean we?" And he was like,
"We ain't building nothing, motherfucker.
Like, no,
you go out and farm mats. I'll build."
Yeah. You were coming to live with me. No.
Yeah, he was like, "So what do we want me to do?" I was like, "You could fill these boxes with this material, and this material, and I'm gonna make us a dream house."
My only words to Soda for the first 2 days of me being back was, "What do we need?" That's the only thing I ever said to him. What do we need?
Well, my whole build started with I want to build. I wanted to build a giant hexagon out of stone, and I wanted to build off of that. And I didn't know where I wanted to build off of that, but I knew I wanted to build it because it would set back in our cove just fine, and I could branch out docks from it, which is exactly what I've done. And everything ties in to that central hexagon. Everything.
It's great.
It's all built off of it, pillared off of it. Everything ties into it.
Oh, I've been so happy every time I've come back into port. I'm like, the first time I come back in, I was like, all right, I'll turn around here and I'll park along this dock. And then he changed up things. He was like, well, I'm going to pull down and I'm going to park this way. And I'm moving this shit. And I was like, all right. So when I come back the next time, he's like, hey, he's like, remember where this was? He was like, that's not there anymore. He goes, pull in far this way, come back around, and then you can park right next to me where I'm at. And pulled in, dropped off, pulled back out, parked right next to him. Fucking dock's still open for other people to pull in and drop off.
Yeah, we have an open port, man. We have an open port.
This works. I was like, this definitely works. That's also why I raise hell when people just pull up with their galleons and park at the mouth of our fucking cove.
Yeah, yeah, that's when you're like, hey man, I don't mind if you pull in here temporarily, but if you're going to park, that's going to be a problem. And at that point, I can't destroy your ship, but I will fucking box you in with some bullshit sloops.
Yeah, he was parked.
I will line the back of your boat with rafts and you'll never get anywhere.
Yeah, he was
pay the toll.
Forward, and that's the only reason that like nothing really got even said about it is I looked out and I was like, fortunately our cove these out this way, and we got lots of room to get around this boat. There were 3 bears off doing whatever. I heard the shovel at one point and saw the settler moment, but thought they put a bed down. Asked them as they were leaving. I was like, you guys put a bed down? If so, tell me where it's at. That way we don't just destroy your shit unless it's in a bad spot.
Yeah.
And they were like, no beds. And so we looked and saw where they settled. And it's literally where they dug in the shovel the first time. That's the point, their first point of recognition on the island.
But hey, it's all good. We want people to settle because we got that 20% tax on the island.
Oh, yeah.
So anyone who farms anything on our island, 20% of that comes to us.
Well,
but they've modified it to where they don't lose that 20% anymore.
Yeah, so anyone who 100%, we just get 20% of whatever that 100% was.
Yeah,
they get their 100%.
Yeah, you get all the mats you farmed, and the island owner gets 20% of that bonus on top of it.
That cumulative.
So half of what built our island was we had multiple groups building ships, building galleons.
We had a group building a rig and a galleon.
So when they went out and farmed, we got mats.
Yeah. I went over the guys that were building the
free labor.
The guys that were building the galleon, one day I just went over and I dropped a bunch of cilantro and aloe and berries. I just ran up with a giraffe one day, spit all of this shit out on them right there as they were on their shoreline. And then I turned around and I ran off and they were like, how do you tame? I'm like, these dudes are building a galleon and just asked me how to tame.
Yeah, they hand farmed a fucking galleon, dude. That's like 120,000 wood, 120,000 thatch, 120,000 fiber, and a good few thousand metal. Easy.
Good few thousand metal and a good few thousand hide, which meant they had to kill animals too.
They hand farmed it, dude.
Fuck that.
Yeah, no, our first move, as soon as we decided that was our island, was like, all right, let's get an elephant. All right, let's get a giraffe. And let's go.
Yeah, we've got our bears. Let's get an elephant. Let's get a giraffe. We don't need anything for the metal because our picks are going to do that. Everybody make sure you spec in to tier 2 hand gathering, and we're good.
It's been nice. It's been nice. We got about a half an hour left, man. You guys want to dig through some of these show notes? Because we are having good conversation. But I feel like
actually, the DMT conversation and everything else that came out of that, I mean, I've been good.
Yeah, I've been good too. I just feel like
we did do the Fortnite thing.
yeah, we touched on Fortnite, and where I wanted to go. I so wanted to lead in from this. Fucking Trump has a Twitch account.
Yeah, that was where our
we lost Guru.
You said you said Trump has a Twitch account, and Guru was like, "I'm out."
Motherfucker has like 40,000 follows already, but if you notice in the show notes, I was like, "So does this replace Ninja?"
Is he up to that already?
No, he's got like 40,000 follows.
I knew he had like 30 based on what
30.
this was saying. Yeah, has he made it up to that 40 yet?
Oh, I don't know. He's. I just thought it was funny that the man who hates Jeff Bezos is using his platform to reach voters.
Not for anything. It's exactly what you should have expected from a guy. If he's bashing on something, you might want to start paying attention to what that something is.
Yeah.
Because he is a man of no press is bad press.
This is true. This is very true.
And if I'm hating on you, the world of successful people love haters. And if you've got the president of the United States as a hater,
you getting attention.
This is just big business smart moves. This is all this. People go, "Oh, this is the biggest idiot ever." It's like, I don't know, man. Kind of seems like a criminal mastermind more than a fucking idiot. Like, this dude is pulling off some real con artist type shit, and everybody seems to think he's a dummy.
This is true. This is true. This is true. I still think he's a dummy. But I'm not saying he's an idiot, but I'm also not saying he's a stable genius.
No, he's definitely not a stable. I'm not going to give him stable genius under no pretense at all when I ever do that. But at the same time, it's like if you took a step back and you looked at what he's done, you're like, oh no. I mean, this is oddly coincidental.
Have you tried calling Guru back?
No. Have you tried calling like Brett Favre?
Yeah, just yesterday, man. Motherfucker never answers.
I know. Same thing with P. Diddy. They don't they gave out their phone number and they just don't answer their phone.
Yeah, I mean,
you get that generic message though. That's like, if
I'm calling Guru.
I am too.
Sweet, we're both calling from the same call, so it's all good. There we go. There's a Guru.
Welcome back.
So while we're on shit that's just kind of outlandish,
like we were saying, Trump's got a Twitch page.
Yeah, Trump has Twitch.
Yeah, you already knew. You didn't know that?
No, man.
That's what the next topic of conversation is in the show, dipshit.
He's always talking about fucking that shit on like every little. Sorry for any of our viewers or listeners that is a Trump supporter. Hey, cool. Hey, we still love you.
Hey, man. But, you do you.
Yeah, but that's the reason. So, every day, this mother flipper always has something to say on his Twitch page. Always.
No,
that's Twitter.
Twitter.
Okay, Twitter.
No, all right. His number one enemy since before he got the presidency has been Bezos,
who owns Amazon,
director of Amazon,
who owns Twitch. And Trump recently created a Twitch page and live streamed one of his rallies. And has like 30,000 plus followers already. That's why I threw in the show notes as the title for that. So does this replace Ninja?
Yes, we got the president.
I was wondering what that was about.
We got the president.
But yeah, I just thought it was kind of outlandish to see that. That's why it's a noteworthy nonsense. While we're on noteworthy nonsense, and speaking of shit that's outlandish, I've got to look at this fucking beer article, dude.
Oh,
I haven't dove into it.
That's a chuckle. And like, oh, listen to this, because I wasn't even.
I didn't pull up the right wage. I'll get that. Damn it! I gotta switch back to that.
Oh,
it just didn't pull up the right web page. I did it before the show. It's my bad.
Oh,
my bad. Everybody who's on watching the stream. There we go.
Boston, Massachusetts. Samuel Adams announced the release of its exclusive Utopus beer. This is one that they do on a regular. This isn't the first time they've done it, but it's the first time it's made this kind of news. Yeah. It's a very unique and very sought after bit that they only make 100 cask, but it's illegal in 15 states.
Yeah, it's 56 proof, dude. I mean, if you want to equate it to liquor, it's 28% alcohol in a beer.
Yeah, it's 28% alcohol by volume, and it currently comes off the shelf for $210 a bottle.
Hence my title in the show notes. How much for a beer? Could you imagine walking into a bar and being like, "Hey man, let me get some of that Utopias," and they're like, "That'd be $210." Be like, a beer, please.
It's like 50. It's like it's anywhere. Usually, what I've heard to order it in Vegas, there's a place that you order these beers. The globally high percentage, high end, like ultra beers. There's a place in Vegas that you can order these. I've heard everywhere from 38 to 63 glass.
Damn. I want to taste it, dude. I do. It's one of those things. It's like when I'm out and about in the world and I feel like I need to have something nice, and I end up at a bar somewhere. I'm like, I look for their highest end scotch, and I'm going to start my night.
Highest end regional scotch.
Yeah, I'm going. Well, I mean, scotch. It's all got to come from a similar region if it's going to be called scotch. But I see what their highest end scotch they have on is. So that'll tell you a lot about a bar. Who's going in? What kind of? I mean, seriously, if you start looking at top shelf liquors, you can tell an establishment by its top shelf liquor.
Yes.
Yeah.
If Sky Vodka is your top shelf vodka, you ain't a fucking high end establishment. You know, if Smirnoff is top shelf to you, you're not a high end establishment.
Right.
But I've spent $30 on
places that do Ciroc, and you're like, yeah, but still, we know where your market share is.
But I've spent $30 on a glass of scotch,
and it has been a very good.
Oh, dude, I sipped it for like 20-30 minutes. Now I had beer to go with it.
Do you do your scotch neat or on the rocks?
Rocks. I'm a rocks guy. I like it to mellow a bit.
Get a little bit more peaty over time.
Yeah. Neat. I have no problem doing it neat, but I prefer it on the rocks because I like it to mellow.
Yeah.
But would you spend though $200 for?
Well, that's for the bottle. A lot of what you'll see getting bottle is not going to be individuals. You'll see establishments getting these bottles more than you will.
How many ounces in these bottles? That's what I need. I'm about to start doing culinary math on this shit. But I'm looking at the article. It doesn't say.
What is it? 15 states illegal. It's legal in New York, is illegal in Alaska, Arizona, Georgia, Idaho, Missouri, Mississippi, Montana, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Oregon, South Carolina, Utah, Vermont, and West Virginia. Meaning it cannot be shipped or sold in those 15 states.
It is $8.26 an ounce.
Right.
So if you're going to get, let's say you're going to get an 8-ounce glass of it, that's a $66 glass of beer.
Yeah, that's what exactly what I meant by this place in Vegas is
you're getting samplings of it.
Yeah, well, $36 glass of this is going to be one of those small sniffers.
Yep.
Like a wine sniffer or a brandy sniffer. It's just going to be a small.
Yeah, you're going to get a flight or something along those lines. You're going to get a tasting type of deal with this.
Yeah.
It's not something you're going to sit back
and you're going to pay 40, 50, 60 bucks to do so.
$66 for 8-ounce glass.
You were talking about measuring your scotch. You know, go to the place and measure the bar by the scotch. Me and Ren and Webb and a lot of the other guys, when we go to New Orleans, we like to go to the bourbon bar at least one day. We want to go and spend a couple hours in the bourbon bar because we get to go international flights. We may spend $6 on a flight that has 4 beers on it.
Yeah, totally worth it though, man.
I mean, it's
about
not 4 beers; it's 4
bourbons. But it's totally worth the experience at that point, though. You're not doing that flight to get drunk. You're doing that to taste.
Enjoy. Yeah, it's to enjoy the flavors of what all of these bourbons have to offer, and that's what our guilty pleasure going down there is you got to go to the bourbon bar. It has the 10 Commandments plaques on the wall. They're 2 stories tall. Like the establishment is a 4-story establishment. The dining and seating bar area is 2 stories tall, and on one wall there are 2 like plaques of the bourbons that are available that you can read from anywhere in the bar.
It's only that beer is only 45 IBUs.
Yeah.
It is not hoppy at all.
No, when you get into these categories of ABVs, you can't maintain the hop levels.
Yeah, so I can see that.
Yeah, you start to see your IBUs go further and further down. Like
it's a pale amber.
Go
Vermont maple syrup. It's got maple syrup.
Go start looking at some of your high ABVs from around the world, and you'll start to notice that all of their IBUs are very low. Man, my girl's been looking into this for a long time for me. She's like, I want to get you something really, really good that's really, really sought after. And I'm like, unfortunately, babe, this is the type of shit we're talking about if that's what you're wanting to get me. I'm like, these things are $200, $300 a bottle. They're 20-30% alcohol. Mm-hmm. Easy.
Well, it's like that Midas's Touch Jackie O's beer that I bought. It was like a 16-ounce bottle. It was like $30. Right. Now, it was considered a mead. That's how you could sell it in the state of Ohio.
Right.
But
yeah, the state of North Carolina doesn't consider anything over 12% beer.
Yeah. I think that's about how Ohio is.
Yeah, it has to go into a different category, which because Sam Adams wants to call their Utopus a beer is the reason why it's illegal here. And
that's a cool looking fucking bottle though, man.
Oh, it's great. And they've been making this for years now. He's been making
and yeah, there's your glass. That's your sample. We were exactly right. We called it. Look how they poured this shit in that picture on the street.
I told you.
Yeah, little snifters.
Yeah, they're it's yeah. Oh, I'm very cultured. I am very cultured to this area. Like once I started snobbing out on beer, I found out about this level and was like, huh. Well, this is different. I didn't even know that.
You over here sniffing your own farts.
I was like, I didn't even know that this level of beer even fucking existed. And this level of beer is extreme. It is.
What fucking South Park is that? Where they like are wafting their own farts into their faces?
Oh no, you're yes. I can't remember the episode, but
Is this the one where they all got like Priuses or some shit?
No, remember the cat farts was the other one.
Yeah.
Cat farts as a drug.
I want that bottle though, dude.
Or no, that was cat. That was being sprayed by a kitty.
I was about to say it was the spray.
Yeah.
Reminiscent of a vintage port, cognac, or fine sherry.
Well, yeah, because it like I said, you start to lose a lot.
Yeah, it's got a sweetness
the beer
to it.
identity. You start to really lose a lot of the beer identity when you get into these alcohol levels.
Yeah, you really do. Well, that's one thing I kind of noticed about the mead and stuff like that is it starts to taste like alcohol instead of tasting like beer.
Well, yeah, it's at that point, and a lot of states consider that level of exactly what it is. You can't call it a beer anymore. They won't recognize it as such.
Yeah.
Anything above this ABV, it completely drains any of the hop resonance out of it. It becomes more about the malts and the other grains that are in it, not any of the hoppiness and carbonation that makes beer. It becomes a liqueur or a liquor
Malt
or
liquor.
wine, a port, like you commonly hear them called ports.
Yep.
You know, but you're talking anything that's in these 20, it's like 20, 24 to I think 36, I think is the high right now that's being recognized internationally as a beer is somewhere around 36%. There's something that self-identifies as a beer. Because there's argument to be made that a beer can't go above a certain percentage before
I think it's 12, isn't it?
It becomes malt liquor, and there are other.
Yeah, man, but St. Ides makes your Jimmy bigger. Snoop Dogg taught me that in the 90s.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah. Whatever, man. Get yourself some St. Ides. Test it out.
I tried to get my look. I had a buddy of mine that we lost, and there was, well, we got to get 40s for this motherfucker. And it just recently happened because this dude, he was just that dude. It was like, 40s, man. In order to honor this dude, we got to get 40s, man. If it's going to be about anything, it's going to be about 40s.
It was like your ODB then?
I told my girl to go out and get St. Ides, and she couldn't find it. She couldn't even find a store that knew she couldn't find a store that knew what the fuck it was.
King Cobras. Oh, God.
That's what I ended up with was King Cobra.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, man.
You know what?
I could have stomached some old English, man.
It took me back. It took me back, and I was like, "Oh man, all I need is a blunt."
Yeah, man. Our desperate days were filled with old English and King Cobras and St. Ides and that shit.
Mine was freaking filled with old English and freaking
Schlitz.
Colt
Blue
45s.
Bull. Give me the Blue Bull Schlitz.
We never did Schlitz. We did a lot of the Champagne of beers, though.
Oh God, a lot of fucking
MGD, man.
Well, God damn it.
The champagne of beers. It was terrible.
Champagne.
Yeah, champagne. If you're drinking Miller High Life, man, it's champagne. It ain't champagne.
Yeah, that is. All right, you two hold on for a couple minutes. I'm gonna be right back.
All right.
Okay. But yeah, man, I used to. Ours was. We're gonna get a couple of bottles of freaking Colt 45 and Old English. Actually, me and my buddy Mark, like that would be our old back in the day of Halo 3. Like that's what we used to do. We used to go down into his basement where we had the TV and the games set up. He would freaking go and give plasma to get a bunch of Colt 45s or English, whatever we could get.
Whatever.
And we would sit down there and just drink our hearts' content out on that shit and just play Halo 3. Like, that was just our thing at the time, man.
Yeah, see, old English just... I first went out seeking Old English because of Old Dirty Bastard. Because of the one line he says in the song, I don't speak Old English, but I drink Old English. I gotta keep it dirty and stinkish. And I was like, that's me, Big Baby Jesus. Let's go.
That's funny. Well, one of the reasons why we always tried to hunt out the Colt 45 was because I don't know if you... I mean, it was a little bit...
The Colt 45 and two zigzags.
It was a little bit before our time. Just a little bit. But the guy that plays Lando Calrissian, he actually, back in the day, used to do Colt 45 commercials.
Nice.
Yes, he did.
Lando did Colt 45.
Lando was the ambassador for Colt 45 for like a large time period. Like, if you saw a Colt 45 commercial, it was
Lando.
It was Lando.
Nice. Yeah, I'll be honest, man. I like Star Wars, but I was never a big Star Wars geek, never a big Star Trek geek or anything like that. Never got too super into it.
It took us a minute to find. Somebody was like, "Yo,
I was more of a
so you're
Wu-Tang geek."
drinking Colt 45? Isn't that what Lando used to drink?" I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" They were like, "Dude, look up old Colt 45 commercial." I was like, "Okay." As soon as I looked it up, first thing I see, Lando Calrissian being like, "Yo, ladies, you need to drink some Colt 45." And that motherfucker was a pimp before he was even freaking a pimp in space. Like, this motherfucker.
kind of what this ties into, Thump, to bring you back in, is Guru was tying his Colt 45 40s as a youngin' to Lando Calrissian. I tied my Old English 40s to Old Dirty Bastard.
Yeah.
That's why I went out after Old English. Is because once again, the exact quote, I don't speak Old English, but I drink Old English. I gotta keep it dirty and stinkish.
You just looked it up, didn't you?
I just put it right there and
everybody
could have access to it.
No, someone's hopping up on that.
It sounds like
no. I'm gonna pull it over. I'm gonna give that to the whole
fucking D. Williams.
Dude.
Number one. You want to know why you should keep plenty of Colt 45 on hand? You never know when friends might show up. I don't claim you can have a better time with Colt 45 than without it.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm drinking that shit if I see those commercials. I'm like, whoa,
shit.
Right. Smooth. There we go. Unofficial sponsor of the Angry Dandelion, Colt 45.
And look at that, man.
Look at that can. Malt liquor. It's got it in big, bold letters. Nowadays, you look at a 40 or something, and it puts malt liquor real small.
Yeah.
It does.
Back in the day, that can, dude, look at that. Malt liquor taking up a third of the cane.
Hey, tell me the can doesn't make you think of, like, fucking Australian for beer.
Yeah, dude, it definitely has a Foster's look.
The can is like, you're like, that's a fucking Foster's can. Who really tried some drink on.
Yeah, dude.
I just went to basketball. Australian for vagina.
The power of Colt 45. It works every time.
Oh, man. About to find that out. About to have to find me some Colt 45. See what happens.
Dude, it is so rare to find. Man. It was, I think, for one of our 4th of July episodes, I was told the missus to go out and find me a couple of 40s.
You did, and that's when she brought you the PBR. You didn't get the Colt. I remember when that happened.
Yeah, that was a fireworks episode.
I was like, dude,
fireworks episode.
I barely remember that episode.
Do me a favor and find me some Colt 45. He couldn't find this shit anywhere.
No problem finding Colt here. Can't find St. Ides here.
I can find Old English. I can't find Colt. Even whenever I go out now, I still like whenever we go into the gas station or wherever, I'm still looking. You know what I mean? Because if I see it, I'm grabbing it.
I kept telling her, I was like, "Give me a St. Ides, give me a St. Ides, give me a St. Ides." And she goes to the store. She's like, "Nobody even knows what I'm talking about when I say a St. Ides." I'm like, "Look," I pull up the fucking Google page. I'm like, "St. Ides. It's the gold ST with either the blue or the red." The blue and red, it was the blue and gold or the red and gold with the silver stripe I for St. Ides. Like, that's what I want you to find. I was like, look, this is the logo. And she's like, I can't find it anywhere. I'm like, man. Whatever you grab, that's where I got King Cobra. I got a King Cobra and an Old English and a High Life.
Yeah, I've had King Cobra before, like maybe once or twice. Usually, like I said, it was all Colt 45 or Old. Man, that's one thing all three of us can agree. Like, has been. I feel like everybody has at least drank a Old English in their lifetime one time.
But my worst drunk, unlike Sones, my worst drunk comes from Night Train and Bush Beer.
Yeah.
Well, it was Night Train. It was Night Train wine and Thunderbird wine and Bush Beer.
I don't do wine, man.
Dude, I'm not a big wine drinker.
I drank so much Mad Dog and fucking.
Actually, you know it's not even called. You know the MD doesn't even stand for Mad Dog. What the fuck does it stand for? I can't remember. But the MD does.
MD 2020 does not stand for Mad Dog. But I drank, and what was the other one? Cisco.
Morgan David Mogan David is what it stands for, not Mad Dog. But yeah, dude, we did plenty of the Mad Dogs.
Mad Dog.
That's what the girls would go nab up. There was a drive-through that would sell us booze.
The Mad Dog, the Cisco, the Thunderbird, the Night Train. I hung out with legitimate hobos. Like, straight up, when I was growing up, I would go get trash with the hobos hanging out by the train tracks. Like, we got a big ass train depot here in town, and that's the guys I'd go get drunk with. Like, I was 14 years old and be like, yo, who's gonna go get us something to drink? I want some Wild Irish Rose, some Thunderbird, MD 2020, some Cisco's, Thunderbird.
This motherfucker's over here giving whoever goes to get the beer a goddamn shopping list. He's like, I need this.
Yeah,
man, the only time I ever ran into a homeless person myself was underneath an overpass, and the guy tried to kick all of our asses because we didn't know that there was a hobo living there. We just saw some shit up in there, and we went up in there and was looking at it, and he came out and started spitting on us and shit.
That's right, because you was invading this goddamn house.
We didn't know what the fuck it was, man. At this point in time, I was probably 9 years old.
Like I said, I grew up in my town where we had a big train community of people. I knew what hobos were early in life. And by the time I hit the age of wanting to go out with my buddies and start fucking around with substances,
Good word.
It was easy as hell to find a hobo who you could give enough money for him to get a bottle that he would get you and your friends a bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just knew enough 21-year-olds, and I had land. Well, my parents and my grandpa had land. So it was, hey, McKinney, you want to have a party? We're going to get some kegs. It's like, sure. They're like, take me to get the kegs. I'm like, sure.
Sure.
Come back, set up kegs, a bonfire. Boom. That was the night.
College town, so all the college kids were eating up all the 21-plussers. I was a high school kid, a local. We were left to the hobos.
You're a townie. You're a townie.
Yeah, I was a townie. We were left to the hobos, and that's just kind of how that stuttered out for us. But I'll tell you, some of the nicest people I had ever met while growing up that taught me a lot of really valuable shit about, like, just life in general and about how the ups ain't always gonna be up.
Absolutely, man. That's something I mean, Y'all know, I just walked away from a job that paid me $27.23 an hour. And
you ain't feeling down about it. I mean, you don't like the
no,
loss in income, but you ain't down about it because
no,
sometimes the ups
honestly,
don't
I
mean
actually,
fucking up.
yeah, exactly. I actually haven't felt so relaxed in 2 years.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. It's a big thing when you learn to see the simple side of life. You do find yourself missing it when you get wrapped up in the rat race of what
Yeah, dude,
people
I've
claim success is.
been chasing money, and it ain't got me anything but things, and no time to enjoy those things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's why I say, like, some of those lessons that I learned from these hobos early in life, it was just like I could spend the rest of my days busting my ass for some shit that I'm never gonna fucking see, or I can enjoy every moment that I get to enjoy the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's kind of where I'm trying to get back to, man. Because these last couple years really like sucked the soul out of me.
They'll put a beat down on you, man. They will. They'll put you in a place where you're just like, why the fuck?
And it, don't get me wrong, I love what I did over the last 2 years. I love who I helped and who I served over the last 2 years.
I hung out with hobos and Hare Krishnas growing up.
But
Because the hobos would always go to the Hare Krishna place because they gave out free food every day. They would feed the people. So you go out and get smashed ass
bye
drunk.
Radio Land.
Yep, bye Radio Land.
Bye.
You get smashed ass drunk with all of your friends, and then about like 5:30, 6 o'clock, everybody goes stumbling over to the Hare Krishna house, and you get your beans and rice and fucking sober up a little bit before you gotta go home.
Oy vey.
Hey, that was growing up in my area anyway. I mean, if you were from here, that was kind of like that's one version of what growing up here looked like.
Yeah.
And I lived all of the different versions of what growing up here looked like. So, like, that one was, I have to say, is one that I look back, maybe probably the fondest because the people, the interaction with the people that you meet at that point, like, they were about, even though most of society considered them the worst of people. If you ever got to know any of them, you found out a way different story. And,
Yeah.
and that they weren't, in most of those occasions, even remotely close to the bottom of the barrel. They just caught a bad rap at one point or another that led down some bullshit they just couldn't find a way to fight back from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because damn sure most of the ones that I ever met never gave up fucking fighting. And I don't mean that in a physical sense. I mean they literally kept every day they looked fondly at waking up and being able to tackle that next day and getting through it. And they never let each day defeat them. They were ready for the next one. So
That's one thing. I mean, I'm a 37-year-old man, but that's one thing I'm looking forward to about moving back into my mom's house. Is my mom has a million fucking health issues, dude. She has good days and she has bad days, and she has more bad days than good. But I'm trying. My mom is an award-winning, like, quilt doll artist.
okay.
And her whole craft space is nothing but a jumbled fucking mess. And Thump, I probably told you about it a little bit.
Also, being the organizing king that he likes to be, he was telling us earlier about kitchens and how he likes to put them in order.
Yeah.
You're about ready to dive into this with your mother.
I've already started.
And bring her craft stuff back.
I
Give
wanna-
her
I-
the
I-
environment that she enjoys.
Yeah, I want to get her set up so when she's having a good day, she can walk downstairs and do her crafts. And with the technology that I have, which is how we do this show, I can set up a camera and time lapse. No matter what day she works, no matter when she works or anything like that, I can time lapse her doing what she does because she restores antiques. She does some crazy weird fucking dolls, man, and stuff like that.
If you want to purchase anything through the McKinney Craft section that will be hitting YouTube in the next 6 months,
but
stay tuned for information. It's coming.
Yeah, I have the opportunity to give my mother a platform to express herself. I have the opportunity to set her space up to get back to where she has
given to you.
Well, just a sense of control and is able to express herself. It's really that. It's really that. So if I can shoot those, but I could turn it into a business for her. Think of all that Pinterest shit you see on fucking Facebook and whatnot of the time-lapse videos of me restoring this old furniture to this.
What are you talking about? I am a Pinterest fucking whore anyway.
Yeah, so stuff like... So I have the opportunity to do that for my mom.
I love Pinterest. It's a great place to fucking collect ideas. Like
yeah.
When I do all of my beef jerky, it's a place that I source a lot of my recipes from. When I brew beer, it's a place to source a lot of references from. When I want to just get in the kitchen and fuck around with shit, and I feel like I don't have an idea, I'll take somebody's root and I'll turn it into something else. You know?
That's what cooking is, though, man. Recipes are.
That's what Pinterest kind of gave me a path to the ability. That's what Pinterest kind of gives me a path to is the ability to be able to kind of take a dab of an idea and then get my brain kind of rolling.
That's what cooking is, though, man. It at least from unless it's baking. Baking has to be science. You don't have much room to play with baking.
Well, you'd be surprised. You've got a certain amount more room than you'd think you did, because my mother took information from what I consider to be like a godmother next door. She took her entire baking repertoire of things, and then she did shit that lady said, "Oh, that you shouldn't do that."
There's circumstance where you can play and you can tweak and you can experiment,
and that's.
But if you want sourdough bread, there's a certain way you get sourdough bread.
Oh yeah.
If you want a donut, there's a certain recipe you use to get that donut.
Right. Yeah. You
can tweak. Donut. You can tweak.
Yeah. You
after
can tweak
that
to make it a kind of donut, but donut is only this.
Yeah,
sourdough is only this.
So that's where baking is a science, whereas cooking, whereas cooking is an experiment, is a science experiment, because you can take.
Yeah, it is.
You can take. Let me think. All right, you can take any chicken marsala recipe in the entire world, and it's going to have the same base.
Right.
And then you're going to get everybody's spin off of that base. And that's where cooking differs from baking. In my opinion. And plus I'm just impatient as fuck. And you want me to sit and watch dough rise? Fuck that. I'm the guy fuck up bread pudding because I open the oven too many times.
Oh. Okay, I guess that's where my mother definitely taught me a little bit more patience as far as that was concerned, because me and cakes, cookies, and pies, and all of that, I can do all of that stuff.
I hate that shit, man. It's too sit and wait.
But she did definitely educate me on the freedom I had to create dishes to serve dinner.
Yeah.
Like my mom would do certain things, and then occasionally she'd just come at me and she'd be like, how about you just pick out dinner tonight and see what you want to do? And not for nothing, people are probably going to look at me and maybe even my mother a little bit differently for this, but I was younger. I wasn't like young. I was old enough to start kind of experimenting on my own with, like, I was smoking weed. Okay, let's just break it down. I was smoking weed. I was young, and my mom reached out to me as a parent and was like, "Look, if you're gonna be doing stuff,"
Make
she's
some
like,
good food, son.
"Well, no," she goes, don't go out on the street and start buying just random ass bullshit." She goes, "I'd rather know what you're doing," and gave me a confined area to be able to, play with that realm of things. So me and her would get high and we'd go in the kitchen together and we would fuck with food. And I came up with this great, like, barbecue chicken dip when I was like 17, that mom was like, "I'm going to use your recipe. Is that okay?" I was like, "Word?" She goes, "Yeah, that shit was good." She goes, "I would have never thought to do that with the chicken that way." She goes, "That shit was fucking amazing." She goes, "So that's what we go up at family dinners now, and you see that's now just, you don't know what people might say to me as far as thank yous." She goes, "You're gonna know where it comes from." And I'm like, "All right, that's cool." And she did. She used the shit out of it, and people liked it. Like, they really fucking liked it. And I was like, "Man, I did that. I did it. That was my recipe." Mom was like, "Yo, I'm using that. I'm taking that. I'm taking that from you." And I took her mac and cheese, so it probably balances out.
Yeah, lots of culinary inspiration for me came from, when it was my mom and my three brothers and hard up for cash, talking mom's walking from work to pick us up at daycare so we can walk home.
Yep.
Type of thing.
Yeah, I'm a single mother household.
We would raid cabinets, me and my mother, and we'd just create dishes.
Yeah, I mean, shit, we've got all this stuff. Let's figure out what the fuck we can make with it. Like, it may not, none of it really makes sense right now when we're looking at it, but let's see what we could do with it. And that was what I was raised with too, was that, like, you're not always going to have everything to make that. So don't think that that recipe is what you got to stick to.
Yeah.
Like make food. She taught me that make food that you're going to enjoy. You're going to understand that certain things are going to go together and certain things are not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want you to learn when I'm teaching you about preparing food. And that's where I came out of. And that's where, like I said, my barbecue chicken dip, that's where that came out of, was I'm willing to bet that this is going to be good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start throwing shit together, dude. My barbecue chicken dip recipe,
your crock pot, your saute pan, your whatever.
It started in a wok.
There you go. Whatever, that was your canvas, though, man.
Yeah, dude, it started in a wok.
That was your canvas. You as a culinary artist, though.
Dude, I was going out to make some. I was going out to make some kind of like Chinese or Japanese or Korean chicken type thing, and then I ended up midway through getting inspired to do something else and was like, you know what, let's take and do this instead. And all of a sudden I made barbecue chicken dip in a wok.
Yep. But that's why it's called culinary arts, not just cooking.
Yeah, man, it was fun. Like,
you have a canvas, which is your plate, and you're free to express yourself on that however you see fit.
I talk to my girl about that shit all the time. It's like, baby. She goes, "Well, I just want to make sure I do it right." I'm like, there's no real wrong unless you just put shit together that doesn't go together.
Yeah, if it tastes like shit, that's the only time it's wrong.
Well, yeah, if you don't, there are certain things that just don't go together.
Yeah. And
until you know what those are,
that's why you have to taste everything, man.
Yeah, just keep
whether you're gonna like it or not. Because I hate seafood, dude. But I've tasted about every kind of seafood there is. I hate it. I've tasted it because it's my responsibility to know the flavor so I know what's going to go with that flavor.
That's right.
So
it's
I know
even
what's going.
Though I may not enjoy it, I still need to know what may.
How's Destiny, Guru?
What do you mean you don't know?
Yeah, what do you mean you don't know, Guru?
Just because you tilted your eyes back a little bit so we couldn't see the reflection in your glasses anymore.
Oh, I heard the thumbsticks and was like, motherfucker's over here playing Destiny.
I was just deleting some stuff.
He was like, I'm only running the Nightfall. Calm
I'm
down.
just sorting my inventory.
He's like, I'm only running the Nightfall on 950.
I would definitely be sitting differently if I was actually running something right now.
I'm about to buy you a Microsoft gift card for $30.
Yeah, with strict implications of you can only buy Atlas with it.
Yeah, I've had to put it on my credit card and pay interest on that shit, but I'm impatient.
Yeah, give me 1 minute and I'll cook that for you. Okay? Promises. Love you.
We're always trying to find ways to drag you into our PC world, Guru.
I didn't know it was already cross-platform, though.
Yeah, that happened October 7th.
Well, it happened October 8th, but
8th? Yeah, that's right. There was issues. But
it went through this dramatic tweet session for like 4 hours. And they were like, you know what? Fuck it. We'll just get with y'all tomorrow.
Yeah, buddy.
And they did. That's exactly how they treated it. They shut down everything and was like, all right, look, we're working on some shit. Microsoft didn't have their shit set up, so we're working on some shit. And then, like, a couple hours later, they're like, all right, so Microsoft seems to think that they've got their shit worked out. We're working on some things here. And it went to the next one where they was like, all right, so we think that we've kind of got shit worked out, but we're ready to go home. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll just fucking...
Yeah. I don't fucking blame him a goddamn bit.
Like I said,
it's still an early access game for another year.
15 by 15 with 150 a pop. What they're doing and the fact that they're able to cross-platform is so uberly ambitious.
Yeah, that is a proper word, ambitious.
And the fact that they're able to even execute it to the degree that they've been able to do so far is amazing.
Yep, props. Big time.
Now, Destiny, get off your ass and give me crossplay on fucking...
That's what we need, dude. That is really what we need. Crossplay on Destiny.
Yeah, crossplay Destiny 2. Oh, but I mean, they gave us cross save, so I can take my character and go from here to there. But I don't want to play on that platform. I'd like to just play where I'm at.
I just like to pull my buddies from the other platform and play with them.
I've turned into a mouse.
Could you imagine the raid groups we could put together instantly if we could bring in our Xbox friends?
I am happier with the mouse.
Me and Thump were already talking about that today too.
Earlier, yeah.
Because I don't want to play with a controller.
No, I'm happier with mouse and keyboard in Destiny, even though there are other games that I will say, even though I play them on PC, I do still use controller.
Look at the Discord. Fun fact, it says Lance 2S above Guru's head right meow on the show. It's because I didn't fix it. Hold on. Sorry, Guru.
Oh, hey, I'm Lance.
Yeah, he actually got a moment of being Guru last week too. So.
Yeah. You know, I've been drinking. Sorry. Sorry, I've been drinking. Let me get my skeeter out the way.
A skeeter.
Oh, but the Guru didn't pop in front. Interesting.
What is that?
I've got a Guru title.
No, but look at the stream and then look at that light.
No,
that is your light. That is your light. That is almost what it looks like here. But it's a little bit more pronounced there.
Yeah, it's because you got that fucking floor light off to you. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
that has balanced everything for you. And it could have been on that screen also because I was chroma keying from my end. on Lance. Now I switched the scene and got out of that shit because there's no need for anyone to look at any web pages at this point. We've been just rambling for the last 20 minutes.
I was going to say we had a couple more that we could go into, but there's no need.
Yeah, it ain't really important.
Well, it's not detrimental news. It's not going to be able to bring you back around like next Wednesday. Some of the shit we can just fucking slap you in the face with next Wednesday. Remember, don't use your mushroom to open your friend's phone.
And next Wednesday, I cannot.
Guru,
are you going to be able to be around next Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay, I am not going to be able to be around next Wednesday.
Yeah, he told me.
Okay. Lance, if you're watching.
Guru,
You are my brother. Do you want to take my spot next Wednesday?
Did you?
You won't have to run the show. We'll make Thump do it.
Yeah, we'll make me.
But I can.
I have the experience of it.
I've got family night for the new restaurant on Sunday. I've got soft open on Monday, and I need to be there helping my dude out for his first week open for sure.
He needs to open his phone on Wednesday.
After that, I need Wednesdays off. So Sam, if he's watching, man, I need Wednesdays off.
Yeah, just in case you didn't understand before, let's make it clear to understand now.
I will be reiterating and bringing this up.
And this is why.
For the foreseeable future. 72 episodes deep at once a week. That means I'm 72 weeks with a couple weeks off in between. So probably about 75, 76 weeks in deep on this commitment, and I ain't giving it up. This is my fun, so this is why I build all this shit.
All right, so what are we doing after this? Like, we're about to say goodbye to all of you people out in the Facebooks and the YouTubes. Like, we love you, but we're going to go play video games again. What are we doing, so?
I don't know. I may just switch it over to the video game.
I was about to say, you already know where I'm going. I'm cooking food for the little one.
Yeah,
I'm going to go right back to Iron Banana.
That's why I said so. What we do.
I at least want to pop into my boat and see what's going on there. I really don't have any desire to grind anything out this week.
I left out. I went and did the maps in B7. I went down B9 and did a fine map with Skater and brought my boat back home.
Yeah, mine's out and about.
I am good for the day as far as my end is concerned out there.
Yeah, my boat's out and about. I'm not really concerned about bringing my boat back. I'm more concerned about, like I said, when 2X hits this weekend, trying to grind out some maps. We're established at this point. There's no grind left for us.
Nope. All right. So we'll go hop into Discord and we'll work ourselves towards.
Yeah, we can definitely kill this Skype for sure.
Grinding out some bananas.
Yeah, fuck it, man. I'm going to stream altogether. Fuck it.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. For real. It's good to see some solid viewers in here.
I love how you're bringing up conversation pieces while you're trying to figure out how to shut down the stream at the same time. Just love it.
Oh no, he knows all he's got to do is hit exit.
Yeah, it's. I gotta pull up this over here on the stream PC and by Facebook. It's gone. And YouTube, you're next. Bye.